This is the third in a number of reflections during the second lockdown that we are experiencing in the UK. We're looking at lockdowns as recorded for us in the scriptures. It's important that we read and reflect upon and learn from the scriptures, as the Apostle Paul wrote in Romans chapter 15 verse 4. Everything that was written in the past was written to teach us, so that through the endurance taught in the scriptures and the encouragement they provide, we might have hope. So I've been thinking over the past few days about one of the judges or leaders in the Old Testament called Samson. He is a fascinating and flawed character whom God uses to deliver his people from their oppression. You may know something of the story of Samson, a man who was outwardly strong, yet inwardly weak in so many ways. I want to focus on just one verse in his life, when he experienced the low point in his lockdown. I don't need to go into the whole story, but you can read that for yourself. But suffice to say, we join Samson, having been lulled into captivity through the actions of a woman named Delilah, who delivers Samson to his enemy, the Philistines. In Judges chapter 16, verse 21, we read that the Philistines seized Samson, gouged out his eyes, and took him down to Gaza. Binding him with bronze shackles, they set him to grinding grain in the prison. So what does this say to us about lockdown? Samson is seized. In lockdown, we experience loss. Samson loses his power. Horrifically, his eyes are gouged out. Samson loses his sight. He is plunged into darkness and pain. He is taken to Gaza, one of the 5 city-states that comprise the land of Philistia. He loses his land. He is imprisoned. He loses his freedom. He is bound with bronze shackles. He loses his movement, suffering severe restriction. He is set to and reduced to grinding grain. He loses his purpose and dignity. Later, he's brought out like a circus performer to entertain his captors. His descent and defeat is complete. Lockdown for Samson means he has lost everything. Yet this portrayal of defeat, desolation and despair has a note of hope. In verse 22, but the hair on his head began to grow again after it had been shaved. Samson was known not only for his strength, but also for his remarkable hair, the secret to his strength. It was not over yet, for the Lord was going to use this man once more to bring complete defeat to his captors. He was going to cause the whole house crashing down on his enemies' heads, literally. In times of lockdown, we may experience loss. We lose our freedom of movement and decision making, our power and purpose, our dignity and direction. Our landscape has changed. We no longer see the way forwards clearly, or if at all. Yet in such times, may we look to God for our hope. He is our strength in weakness. He is the light in darkness. He is our sight in blindness. He is working his purposes out even through lockdown loss. Samson resorted to prayer. In verse 28, Sovereign Lord, remember me. Please, God, strengthen me. May we also look to the Sovereign Lord for strength in lockdown. And as the psalmist prayed in Psalm 28, verse 7, the Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in him, and he helps me. My heart leaps for joy, and with my song I praise him. Amen.